Hello there. I have good news. I have decided that I'm gonna finally finish the project I started and I'm gonna complete the bike chair. You probably don't even remember what the bike chair is. Well, a while ago I made a video where I said I was gonna build a chair, that I designed a chair, and it would have wheels and I'd be able to pedal it forward. Well, I got very far on it. But the problem was that one of the tires was completely flat, and I just lost any semblance of wanting to do it after that because I figured, oh, it wouldn't work. But I bought another tire today, and I'm getting it done. See, the main issue was I used two really old bikes, and one of them the tire was fine, but the other one the tire was completely shot. It wouldn't work anymore. It had a big hole in it, I'm pretty sure. But today what I'm planning on doing is I am going to put on the tire for one, and I'm gonna affix the front wheel finally how it should be to the front using the legs of the body of the chair where I sawed off at the start. Now, I did actually film the entire process of me making the chair, but the problem is even with editing that would still be like a 45-minute video, and I can't upload past 15 minutes for this thing because the software I use, I'm uploading from a phone. It doesn't go higher than that. So instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna film the next couple parts where I show you putting on the tire, drilling in the little support beams, and then finally fixing the handlebars how they should be, and we will have our machine. So without further ado, and without any more delays, let us put this project to rest. So the thing about the bike chair is that I had to put it in the garage for a bit because it's been so long since I've worked on it that it's needed some time to just be on its own because I couldn't just keep it outside. But as you can see, I have had the main thing done. You have this part drilled into here, and at the bottom it has supports through screws and through wood that go up through there, and then another piece in the back through that wheel that goes up through there. And I gave it a license plate. Isn't that just flat out amazing? Anyway, here's our main problem. You see this like end part here isn't that sturdy. It's literally held together with 3 zip ties, a screw, and 2 other screws down here, and then some other screws on the bottom holding that up. It's not the sturdiest of things right here because it's just wood, and wood isn't exactly the most strong thing unless you have it in the little triangular brace that I have it in. So my end idea here is I would take the legs of the chair and I would set it up down here to hook up at the top, and it would hold it up like an actual brace so that it would all be nice and snug and fit together, and it would hold this in place. And then we have the tire, which will hold everything nicely because this, as of now, it's completely flat. Let's go. Alright, so I have been out here working for a bit, and I repurposed the legs of the chairs because this thing is literally being held up by zip ties and a screw, and some screws down there, as I said earlier, but I got the legs of the chairs, and I added a screw to put into there, into here, same for the other side, and now just tighten them up, and this should be stable.
Not really.
Now that that's tightened, I just have to replace the tire and tube on this, and should be working on the handlebars after that. Tire. Alright, so the tire's back on, and I actually already built a little steering apparatus. See, they didn't have elbow joints at the store, so what I did was I took a 4-way joint, and I pretty much just cut it down the middle, so then one half of it is up top, one half is on the bottom. But what it's going to do is this hooks onto the handlebars, put your foot down here, same for that one, and then you push off, and then that allows it to go. And all I need to do now is screw on this, and this is done. After all this time, all of the work, effort, and just flat out months of time, I have finally done it. The world's least functioning tricycle. The reason I say least functioning is because I tried to ride it, and as expected, around 2 minutes after I started it, it completely broke within the middle, but I screwed another screw in, and that actually holds it up better than the 3 screws that were already doing it in the first place. But, I think it was a fun enjoyable project, even if it is flat out awful, but I expected this as soon as I thought it up. Let me give you the grand tour though. So the main mechanics of the bike chair is that it has the propulsion on just one wheel. I was gonna do it on this side, but then I realized this pedal's backwards, so the chain wouldn't have even worked to begin with. So I thought, you know what, it doesn't really matter. I'll just do it how I did before and just do one. But you know, it doesn't really matter because it still works, and I'm happy about that. So you have a singular brake on the side for the one wheel that does work. You have your steering mechanism, which you put your feet on when you propel forward. And this, where you put your fingers in here, pull up, move around, and move forward. And the seat is angled so which I don't fall off of it, but that just makes it really difficult to ride. Regardless though, for someone who has no idea what they're doing and just barely knows how to use power tools, I think that I've done a great job. Considering the fact that it has literal just like screws and nails in it holding the thing up to the side, I'd say that this was a win. Now, my goal at this was to actually ride to McDonald's, which is across the street from my house, but to be honest, it's not gonna hold up till that point. So I think once the next garbage truck comes, I'll take it apart and probably toss it out, which I know seems counterintuitive because you'd think I'd want to keep this for memorable purposes, but this thing is massive and it weighs so much, so I just don't have the space to keep it. Neither do my family. They want it out of the house. And now you may be asking yourself, was that worth the wait? The video that I made 2 months ago. I mean, it's not like anyone cares. How many people are subscribed to this channel? 30? Doesn't matter. But you know what? Was it worth it? Absolutely not.
Autobots roll out.
I take it back when I said that this wasn't worth it. I have my friend here, and he actually can ride this thing perfectly. It works. I mean, I'll be honest, he's actually going fast enough to the point where I have to run to catch up. So you know what? What are you doing?
Going too fast.
You know what? I will say, I think this was worth it after all. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. I am extremely proud of myself.